going to discuss about Karma Siddhanta. That is called Doctrine of Karma. Let us see. Mangalam disatuno Vinayako, Mangalam dishatuna Saraswati, Mangalam dishatuna Samudraja, Mangalam disatuno Maheshwari. Karma is a Sanskrit word which means action, but it is generally used to mean a certain definite connection between what is being done now and what will happen in the future. Things do not happen by accident, by chance, in a disorderly way. They happen in regular succession. They follow each other in a regular order. Therefore say, Kamamaya evayam purusha iti sa yatha kamo bhavati tat kratuhu bhavati yat kratur bhavati tat karma kurute yat karma kurute tadabi sampadyate. It means man verily is desire formed. As his desire, so is his thought. As his thought is, so he does action. As he does action, so he attains. Tadeva sakta sahakarmanaiti lingam mano yatra nishaktamasya. So indeed the desirer goes by walk to the object in which his mind is immersed. Gahana karmano gatihi Bhagavad Gita. The track of karma is mysterious. Lord Sri Krishna has himself proclaimed in Gita that it is difficult to understand, that it is intrications and indefinite extent and shape of karma. As it is so complicated, intricate, zigzag, unfathomable, dynamic, inscrutable and mysterious, because the life is such. The trial of karma is jagged and intractable. Niyatam kuru karma tvam karma jyayo hya karmanaha sharira yatra pichate na prasidhyeda karmanaha. Perform your prescribed duty, for doing is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one's physical body without work. Sri Sudama, a friend of Lord Krishna, says about the complex nature of karma as under. The working of karma seems so complex. We two students of the same Guru, who Krishna and Sudama. Krishna became the king of this earth, while I have nothing even to eat. He used to play with monkeys in Gokul and used to fetch wood at the teacher's house. Now he sits on the throne today, while I possess only a begging bowl and a stick in hand. What is karma? The simple and succinct definition of karma is that each and every physical action or deed that you perform with the cooperation of the mind, right from morning to evening, during the whole day and night, during the whole week, whole month, whole year, and during your lifetime, from birth to death, is called karma. For example, getting up, sitting down, taking bath, washing, walking, or standing, going to a job, doing business, speaking, thinking, touching, etc. All these physical actions are performed by all your 10 senses, Dasha Indriyas. Because they performed as influenced and propelled by the likes and dislikes, attachment and non-attachments, and with the cooperation of your mind and intellect are all called karma. All these karmas are divided into three categories according to their stages under. Let us see what are they. First, Kriyamana Karma means an action done at the spur of a moment or at time in the present tense, which instantaneously bears a fruit and results in the reaction then there is every acts. Second one is Sanchita Karma, mean cumulative karma action. It means the actions done but not yet ripe to give fruits immediately or on the spot but take some time to get ripened. Such karmas are kept in abeyance pending in the balance waiting for the opportune time to become ripe to give fruits in future. Till then they remain in balance and reaccumulated until their fructification. These sanchita karmas would not be neutralized. Third one, prarabdha karma. It means those actions out of the accumulated sanchita karmas which have now become ripe and are ready to give fruits. They are commonly known as destiny, luck, fate, fortune, etc. Actually, what is the law of karma? Bhagavad Gita says, Na karmanam naishkarmya purusho shnute na cha sannyasana deva siddhim samadhigacchati. Not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. As we know, for running the administration of any department or institution in this world, certain laws and rules are required to be framed for its smooth and efficient day-to-day working. For example, the railway department or judicial department, public works department have got their own strict rules and laws. Even all the other head of the departments have their own rules and regulations for their smooth and efficient administration. At the same time, even a small village panchayat, taluk panchayat, or district panchayat, or a municipal corporation, or a big state or a country government, each one of them has got its own separate laws and rules under which is governed. In the same way, there must be some law which governs the administration of their whole vast infinite universe. The rising and setting of the sun is in the east and the west, punctually and strictly according to the time shown in astrology. The harmonious movement of the earth, sun, moon, stars, planets, etc., around each other on their predestined orbits and destined routes, as shown in astronomy, the inception, maintenance, and dissolution of all the animate bodies and inanimate objects and things in the whole universe. The coming winter, summer, and monsoon seasons, the ripening fruits, flowers, grass, and shrubs on the earth, the proper existence of mountains, rivers, oceans, etc. The working of the principles of specific gravity and relative density of the objects and also things. In this regard, Gita says, Namam karmani limpanti nate karma pale spruha iti mam yobhijananti ye karma bhirna sabadhyate evam jnatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhi kuru karmaiva tasmatvam purvaihi purvataram kritam. Nor do actions affect me, nor is a fruit of action desired by me. He who knows me is not bound by actions. Having this known, our forefathers, ancestors, ever seeking liberation, performed action. Therefore, do you also perform action, as did our forefathers, in ancient times. On the earth, the evaporation of water from the sea to the sky, the formation of the clouds, and their showering on the earth, the mysterious running of the cycle of birth and death, etc., for the smooth and effective administration and execution of all these environments, there must be some strict law under which the whole infinite universe is governed. This law is known as the law of karma, as stated by Goswami Tulsidas in his Ramayana. कर्म प्रधान विश्व रचि रखा, जो जस करई सो तस फल चखा. The whole universe is governed by the law of karma, and the most important section and the fundamental principle of this law is जो जस करई सो जस फल चखा. As we sow, we reap somewhere and sometime in his life or in a future birth. What we reap today is what we have sown either in the present or in the past. Karma is a law in itself which operates in its own field without the intervention of any external independent ruling agency. Karma brahmodbhavam viddhi brahmachara samudbhavam tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajne pratishtitam. Regulated activities are prescribed in the Vedas, and the Vedas are directly manifested from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, all pervading transcendence is eternally situated in acts of sacrifice. A want is what is called a desire. We desire to get something, that is the first stage. Then we think how to get it, this is second stage. Then we act so as to get it, that is called third stage. This is regular order. Every action has a thought behind it. Every thought has a desire behind it. These things are called action, thought, desire, or three threads that are twisted into a cord of karma. Our actions make the people around us happy or unhappy. If we make them happy, we have sown happiness like a seed and it grows up into happiness for ourselves. If we make them unhappy, we have sown unpleasant like a seed and it grows up into unhappiness for ourselves. That means, as we sow, so shall you reap. Yata karma tata phalam means if we do kind things, we sow kindness like a seed and it grows up into kindness to ourselves. So, this is called karma. So, in this regard, we have to understand the doctrine of karma clearly. Now, kriyamana karma, detailed description. Generally, any action that you do at any time or a moment in the present tense will give its fruit immediately and on the spot. It is called kriyamana karma. Any action is bound to have reaction, any cause is bound to have its effect, and any effect is bound to result into fixed destiny. This is immutable law of karma. For example, if you drink water at once, your thirst is quenched. What? Kriyamana charya. You got the fruit of your action of drinking and finished with it. Another example. You ate and immediately your hunger is satisfied. That means you got the result of your action of eating and your action is exhausted and neutralized. And account is cleared. Another third example. You took your bath and your body is cleansed. You got the result of your action at once. The cause resulted into effect and the account of action is squared. Your action became quiet and subsided and dissolved. Another example. You inflicted verbal abuses on someone, and he, being thus provoked, immediately gave you slaps on your face. The account of give and take is cleared and closed on the spot. The law of action and reaction cause it, effect evaporated and ceased. All actions become quiet only by reactions. Every cause has becomes quiet and subsided immediately only after its effect has been experienced. Yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjitaha jnanagni dagdha karmanam tamahu panditam buddha, whose works are all free from molding of desire, whose actions are burned up by the fire of wisdom. Him the wise have called a sage. Having thus abandoned attachment to the fruit of action, always a content, nowhere seeking refuge, he is not doing anything, although doing actions. Hoping for naught is mind and self-control, having abandoned all greed. Performing action by the body alone, he does not commit the sin. Yadrucchālābhasantushto dvandvātīto vimatsaraha samasiddhāvasiddhau ca kritvapi na nibadhyate. Content with whatsoever he obtains without effort, free from the pains of opposites, without envy, balanced in success and failure, though acting he is not bound. Of one with attachment dead, harmonious, with his thoughts established in wisdom, his works sacrifices all actions of merit. Now, Sanchita karma. However, there are certain kriyamana karmas which do not instantaneously ripen to give you fruits immediately. They therefore remain pending in deposit, waiting for the opportune time to ripen and bear fruits at appropriate moment in future. Till then, they are kept in abeyance and get accumulated. They are called Sanchita karma. For example, you took laxative, medicine for motions in the morning, but will get resultant motions after a few hours. Another example, you appeared in the examination today and will get your result after 1 month. Another example, you abused somebody today, but he will wait for an opportune time to take revenge after few months. Another example, you harassed or tortured your parents in your young age, causing a lot of anguish to them, and your children will torture you in your old age. Tit for tat. Another example, you tried and labored enthusiastically with great devotion to become a proficient musician or a famous painter, but before acquiring perfection, you left your body. What happens? Even then, your labor of the present birth is not wasted. In your subsequent birth or births, you will continue your efforts and will definitely reach your goal of perfection and will get the fruits of your labor and devotion of present birth. Therefore, sometimes we used to see some young kids achieve their skills in maths or some other arts and crafts or something. It is not from this birth. It is a balance of previous birth continues in this birth. So this is called Sanchita karma. Yada sarve pramuchyante kama esya hridi sthitaha atamartyo mruto bhavati atra brahma samashnuti. When all the desires hidden in the heart are loosed, then the mortal becomes immortal, then he here enjoys Brahman. Thus creation gets certain actions and efforts in the present to take time to ripen, to enable them to yield fruits. Till then, they are stored away, kept in abeyance, and get accumulated the balance as sanchita karmas. But anyhow, every action will have its reaction, every cause will have its effect, and every effort will have its destiny determined in due course of time without exception. Now, prarabdha karma. We used to say, destiny, sir. This is my fate, sir. I am lucky, sir. I am fortunate one, sir. These are called prarabdha karma. There are heaps and heaps of lofty mountain full of unripe sanchita karmas piled up, amounting to billions and billions or millions. For example, innumerable sanchita karmas deposited in balance at the credit of each and every person and accumulated by him during his past innumerable births since time immemorial. They do not become ripe to give fruits all at a time in one birth. Only a few of them, say about 10,000 sanchita karmas out of this whole tremendous stock, become ripe and ready to give fruits during one lifetime. They are called prarabdha karmas. Strictly according to these prarabdha karmas, a person gets a particular type of body: parents, wife, children, wealth, caste, creed, race, sex, environment, etc., just appropriate to enjoy, suffer, and exhaust its prarabdha karmas destined during his present lifetime. He cannot leave his present body till he has fully enjoyed, suffered, and exhausted all these prarabdha karmas during his present life, even though he is totally bedridden or suffering due to paralysis and other diseases and desperately craving for freedom from his crippled body. Crippled body. The stock of sanchita karmas is increasing by leaps and bounds as the new accumulation is much more than the expenditure during each birth, and there does not appear to be any hope of chance for liberation of emancipation. Recognizing this, Adi Shankaracharya has humbly requested God as under. What he requested? Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayanam, iha samsare bahudustare, kripaya pare pahi murare, bhaja govindam, bhaja govindam, govindam bhaja mutamate. Be born again, dying again, and again lying in the mother's womb. This samsara is extremely difficult to cross over. Save me, O destroyer of Mura, though your infinite complexion or compassion towards me, kindness towards me. This first line, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, describes the process of samsara. Samsara is nothing but a repeated process of birth and death. Why does this cycle go on? It is because what I am preserving or seeking is not fulfilled in this journey of lifetime. Naturally, then, when I die, there are unfulfilled desires in my heart and those unfulfilled desires make me take another birth in a suitable environment so that I can fulfill my desires. If, again, the desires are not fulfilled, the journey is concluded in that embodiment and I have give it up only to acquire get a new another embodiment. This is the reason we talk of the process of repeated births and deaths. It is because of man is born incompleted and he dies incomplete as well as. The journey goes on till a total fulfillment is gained. Karma in different traditions. In Hinduism, the theory of karma, means the doctrine of karma is more dominant in Vedanta school. From some schools like Mimamsa, the role of karma is almost negligible. Most traditions agree on three types of karma, that is prarabdha, sanchita and kriyamana, which means karma to be experienced in this lifetime, latent karma which we have not yet reaped, and karma that will result in our future lives respectively. In Buddhism, essentially there is no soul. The unresolved karmas manifest into a new form composed of 5 skandhas in one of 6 realms of samsara. The eternal nirvana means salvation, means moksha, comes through the annihilation of residual karma, which means the ceasing of the alleged existence of being. The actions with intention carried out by the mind, body and speech, and which are driven by ignorance, desire, and hatred, lead to implications that tie one down in samsara. Following the eightfold path, the set of 8 righteous ways of thinking and acting suggested by Buddha, one can attain nirvana, means absolution, moksha. In Jainism, karma is conceived as a suitable matter, pervading the entire universe in form of particles. These extremely subtle particles cling to the soul, obscuring its intrinsic pristine form. It is called, sometimes described as the contamination that infiltrates the soul and taints it with various colors. Liberation, means moksha, is achieved through following stringent path of purification. For Jainism, given the absence of external divine agency, the law of karma becomes most popular as governing law and a self-sustaining mechanism, and that governs the universe. And that's why I say Bhagavad Gita, Atmanam Rathinam Vidhi Shariram Ratamevacha Buddhim Tu Sarathim Vidhi Manaha Pragrahamevacha. Know the self, the chariot owner, means the body, the chariot. No reason, the charioteer, and this mind is reins. They call the senses the horses, the sense object their province. Yastva vijnanavan bhavati tim atimanaska sada shuchihi nasatat padamapnoti samsaram chati gacchati. Who is indeed ignorant, thoughtless, always impure, he does not obtain the goal but comes again to samsara, I mean life circle, law of karma and God's grace. While Buddhists believe you can control your karma through actions and achieve liberation, Sikhs believe it is only through the grace of God that your cycle reincarnation can be stopped. To be worthy of this grace, A Sikh is guided to live a happy life of good the way God expects his creative to live. So we have to see every action gets its own reaction. Let us do the good deeds which gives good fruits in this birth, in another birth also. So therefore, do good, think good, and everything you always think good. So now we learnt the theory of karma, I mean doctrine of karma. What is the benefit if we know this? We have to decide. The option is given to us by God. What way? You do good action, you will get good results. If you do bad, result will be bad. So our ancient scriptures say that we have to do good for the sake of, not for the others or society or something, for ourselves first and our people. Therefore, we have to think always in a positive, and we have to go through to do positively and do the actions according to the mind in the form of good sense. So let us think in this way. So Shri Kantai Kalyana Nidhe Dhanam Shri Venkatanivasaaya Srinivasaya Mangalam Mangala Sasana Prayer Padacharya Progamaihi Sarvesha Purvairacharye Satkrudayastu Mangalam.